Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Kiam. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, all praises and glory is due. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 16 verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Get up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? And this is the inspiration for this video that I'm going into. Plagues are sent among you again and again and again and again, right? Because this is a reoccurring topic, a topic that they are always going to go into in this truth when it comes to America, Babylon the Great, which is basically the plagues and the judgments that are being sent upon America, Babylon the Great by the Most High Yahweh Sham Yahweh. So this right here is going into the newest case of floods that have been going on, because you've heard about the floods that happened in Texas, right? That basically killed like 200 or no, I don't think it was 20, I think like 20 people, right? Especially the one that happened in that girls' camp, right? And the attacks that are going on with these and basically the destruction of these different sundown towns and so on and so forth, right? And this is just a sign of the times that we're in. The Most High Yahweh Sham Yahushai visiting Babylon the Great, right? America, Babylon the Great, and bringing all these plagues upon them. And this is the one I wanted to highlight. I wanted to highlight the new one that is happening right now within Babylon the Great. So yeah, let's go into that. Flash flooding in New Jersey New York leaves at least 2 dead. Subway stations filled with water as more rain expected. New York City recorded 2.64 inches of rainfall in Central Park on Monday, setting a new record for July 14th. At least, and basically this is just going into the recent events and what recently just happened, right? Which is basically the flooding of New Jersey and New York. And you see, this is just a part of the different things that have been happening all over America, Babylon the Great, in these last days. Okay, just a continuation of the plagues and the judgments of the Most High Yahweh Sham Yahushai on America, Babylon the Great. So let me get this precept real quick. So let's go to the book of Isaiah. Let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah, Isaiah the 19th chapter. Right, this is the book of Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19 verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right, and the Most High Yahweh Sham Yahushai. Alright, I want to keep on going down a little bit more, but this is Isaiah 19 verse 2. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And this is also something that is happening as well in America, Babylon the Great, with the threats of civil war looming. Okay, but this is not really what I'm going into in this video, but it's also a highlight and something to speak about, something that is currently about to come upon America, Babylon the Great as well, which is basically your civil war, right? Where you have these Babylonians against each other, these Egyptians against each other, and it's not just referring to Esau, Edom alone, but it's also referring to you two third Israelites that are also, under and basically still within America, Babylon the Great, still within spiritual Egypt. So now Isaiah 19 verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, the Yahweh of hosts, right? So basically, the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushua is setting forth and bringing forth the judgments upon spiritual Egypt, which is America, Babylon the Great. And it's not just going to be always just one situation of these different natural disasters that are happening in Babylon, right? So that is the floodings that you see happening in Texas and also in New Jersey, right? Or whether it's all the violence and bloodshed that you see happening, right? Or whether it's the continuous sedition, right? And conflict between the different factions in spiritual Egypt, the left versus right, the divide in the political spectrum, and even the infighting that you currently have in the right because Donald Trump refuses to release the Epstein files, and the Republican senators, right? I think it was either the Republican senators or the Republican House basically, signed a memorandum or a bill, right, or is it a resolution to block the release of the Epstein files. I don't really know how the news media described it. Let me see if I can look for the article so that I don't make a mistake, right? But basically, you have the Republican House. I think it was either the Republican House or the Senate, but I know that it was the Republican and it was a unanimous decision. So I don't know whether it was the House. So let's just type in Republican House Epstein files, right? Because now that's the major news that's going on right now in America. Babylon the Great is basically the Epstein files, and basically the Trump regime, right? The Trump government saying that there are no Epstein files and that the Epstein files don't exist, right? Republicans move to block Democratic effort to force release of Epstein files, which sounds like propaganda because the Democrats are not trying to release those Epstein files. But because the Republicans are now the ones that are in power and are the ones that have been advocating for the release of the Epstein files, the Democrats can now come in and make themselves look as though they are the ones that have been trying to release the Epstein files, but the Republicans would let them. Okay, so it was Congress. Or maybe not. I'm trying to look for. Here it is. 211 House Republicans vote to block release of Epstein files, and that's basically what happened. So you have so you have Donald Trump on one hand saying that the Epstein files don't exist. Well, not really Donald Trump. I've forgotten the exact person. I think it was like this woman. I've forgotten her name. That said the Epstein files don't exist, right? I've forgotten the name of the woman. And I've forgotten the office that she held. I think it was like the Attorney General or Attorney General or something like that. So I can't remember. But she basically said the Epstein files don't exist. So now you have this divide in the among the Republicans, right, and among MAGA as well. Because of this Epstein file, you have the Republicans that want the Epstein files to be released, right? And then you have the Republicans that are basically going along to get along and saying that, well, if Trump and this Republican government says there are no Epstein files, then there are no Epstein files, right? Now you even have people saying that the Epstein files were invented by Obama and the Clintons, in order to frame Trump for something, which is funny. But at the end of the day, man, all these people that are set up in your government, right? The government of America, Babylon the Great, the government of Esau, Edom, is all completely wicked, and they are all complicit in the human trafficking and the pedophilia being done and conducted by Jeffrey Epstein, right? So while you Thomas Tuthedas Jakes are out here accusing Great Millstone of being P-files, right? Accusing Great Millstone of pushing or promoting, GRAPE. You have actual government officials that have actually committed these things, getting away with it, and you being unable to do anything about it, right? And this is and that of course is one of the reasons why the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is bringing His judgment upon America, Babylon the Great. That's why you are seeing all this violence going forth, right? That's why you are seeing all these disasters happening right now, and you, Jakes, will try to justify it. Oh well, it happened because of so and so, or you go on ahead and say, oh, it's the ancestors that are doing this. The ancestors are mad at the white man, and the ancestors are finally coming against the white man. I did some roots, Jake will come out and say, I did some roots work and I poured libations to the ancestors. So that's why all these things are happening, which of course is not the case, okay? The real reason why this is happening is because the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is finally bringing more and more judgments, heavier and heavier judgments upon America, Babylon the Great, but because the people of this kingdom are not spiritually discerned, they do not see that the judgments are coming from the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Habakkuk 1 verse 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked does compass about the righteous, therefore wrongful judgment proceeded. And that's what you see happening with these Epstein files, right? Why, everybody knows that these files exist. Everybody knows what's going on. It's the biggest cover up, right, in US history. And the reason why it's the biggest cover up in US history is because it's a cover up that's being done right before your eyes, and it's a cover up, but what can you do about it? And it shows you that you people out here in the world, you average Babylonians, you have no power. You are not the ones that put somebody like Donald Trump in office, even though you 100% believe you did, which is why he is able to, it's like Trump isn't even pulling the wool over your eyes. He's just straight up doing it right before your eyes, and you are unable to do anything about it. Why? Because you're not the one in control. You're not the one in power. You're not the one that Donald Trump answers to. All right, really, we already know who Donald Trump answers to, which are the elites of Esau, Edom, your international bankers, and so on and so forth. Right. So, like I was saying, with the plagues and the current things that are happening in America, Babylon the Great, with these floods, right, and the fires that are raging in different parts of the US. And I also saw this news about the volcanic eruption happening in Iceland and people needing to be evacuated because of it, right? These are all parts of the judgments that are going forth because of the wickedness of this kingdom. And let's not even talk about the different earthquakes that happened recently, all over Asia, right? Different high magnitude, magnitude 5, magnitude 6, magnitude 7 earthquakes, right? Going back to the prophecies, earthquakes in diverse places, and Jakes will come out and say, oh, it's the ancestors that are doing this. The ancestors are beginning to get revenge against YT people and YT supremacy. That's how that's how these two third burger Jakes always say, the so-called whites, and it shows you that they have no understanding, because they are still referring to Esau Edom as a so-called white person, right? And that's where you know that, like I said, they have no understanding. So referring to Esau Edom as a so-called white person, right? So they don't even know what's really going on the earth. And that is that the judgment of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, as the elders and the apostles on down have been saying, is escalating on the earth, okay? That the times are being hastened by the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And that's exactly what you are seeing happen in real time. Okay? Call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Raka Kwadash, and all the beautiful things that are going on right now, the continuous judgment that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is sending upon this kingdom, right? These, every single day, man, every single week, another new news about how more new news about how the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is pelting and bringing judgment upon Babylon. And eventually, man, you jakes, right, you two thieves, you scoffers, will be unable to deny the power of the Heavenly Father and the fact that it is the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that is bringing these judgments, because that's really what you see Jake doing right now. They'll find all kinds of excuses. They'll say, oh, it's global warming. They'll say Esau got his DARPA going on these regions, which of course, it could be possible, but at the end of the day, it is still the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that is in control of that. After all, is it not written that the deceived and the deceiver are his? So even if Esau Edom is using that DARPA, right, or using some kind of direct energy weapon to incite the rains or to cause these fires or these eruptions, it does not change the fact that it's still the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that is putting the spirit on Esau Edom to bring down his own kingdom, and that's ultimately what is happening. So call Allah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Ba'asham Raka Kwadash. The prophecies are going forth. The prophecies are jumping out of the pages, which is exactly what you are seeing happening all over the earth. Okay, this is Bible prophecy coming to pass. The destruction, right, of America, Babylon the Great. Okay, the plagues of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai falling upon America, Babylon the Great. Okay, and that is beautiful to see right there, man. The Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Let me get this preset real quick. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 16 verse 6. May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Right, and that's where we're at right now, man. So hey, these are the kind of things that you see that gives you faith in the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's judgment is going forth upon America, Babylon the Great, and we are soon going to be delivered out of this place, man. Because we are getting to those times. So with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Ba'asham Raka Kwadash Wa Abad Babal Shalom. And through the Spirit, I hope you are calm and you are quite edified. Shalom.